as we are back at the table after that brief disruption, if we can continue with our closing statements, I do believe we should move now on to Arthur. We've had the closing statements from Richie. So Arthur, if you can please close before we continue with the articles of voting, then the final vote after that.
I think I've said all that I've needed to get across.
Okay. Andy?
All I'm going to say is my vote has no relation at all to our brief relapse on FIFA 19 today.
Right, thank you. And Tony?
Yeah, I'm going to pass on this.
I've actually got my final statement.
Okay, fine.
To might is to do.
Tomorrow is to do.
The House appreciates that remark from our honourable friend. So, for our first article of voting, this is for where we go with the deciding vote if we do find ourselves in a situation in which we have tiebreaker after the final vote this evening. The first...
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Is this for the votes this evening, or is this for all future board meeting votes?
I think this can... I think... we have two options. Either you can leave it.
We're not voting on that as well, are we?
We can order. We could either leave it to the decision of the mediator, or I am happy to open it to a vote of the board.
I'm not having another vote. Can you just decide, Jack?
Okay, fine. Well, I think that to avoid all of this kerfuffle in the future, then it should just be the final vote for all means of tie-breaking in the future.
Thank you, Jack.
Okay. Wonderful. So, if there are no other remarks to be made, I'd like to continue to the first article. This is for the tie-breaking mechanism, and the first one is for the vote to go to the mediator. I'll begin with Arthur. A yes or no, please.
Oh wait, is this? What? Am I saying who I want to vote for in the tiebreaker?
No, the first vote is whether when we go to a tiebreaker. So you've got three articles. Either the tiebreaker is decided by the mediator, and then the second article, which would be the second round of voting, if the tiebreaker is decided by a coin flip, and the third round of voting will be whether the tiebreaker is decided by the founder of the club, who is one Tony McPro. So it's a yes or no. It's a yes or no answer going around the table for all articles until we have a final tiebreaker, and then we go to the final vote.
Okay.
No.
No. Okay. Andy.
No.
Andy. Fine. Tony.
It's a no from me.
Fine. Jack.
No.
That is a unanimous no for the first article. So we move on to the second article, as there is no confirmation of each. This is for the coin flip. Arthur?
No.
Andy?
No.
Tony?
I'm going to go for yes.
Jack?
No.
No. Okay, so that's the noes have it. The noes have that article of votes. So we could continue to the third article of voting, which is the founder's decision. It is the founder's decision. And I'll say, if there is a majority no or a tie-break no decision, then it returns to the House, who will then confer an alternative method of finishing this tie-breaking conversation.
Okay,
with that understood, as I'm sure it is by all members of the House and all voters at the table and all co-signers of the agreement therein, Arthur, I move to you.
Yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Tony.
No.
Jack.
Yes, but I'm not sure who the founder member is, so can we have a vote on that?
We will have no... I appreciate the input from the man at the end of the table, but we will have no confirmatory vote on the founder of the team. It has already been agreed unanimously, aside from the one anomalous statement at the end of the table, that the founder of the club is Tony McPro. As there is not a proportionate contention against this understood fact, there will be no vote pursued. So, thank you. That was a yes for that final vote. So, the tie-break, if so it happens, will go to the founder, who is understood to be unanimously Tony McPro. Thank you very much. So, we move to our final vote, which I must declare to all members at the table again to confirm the understanding herein that this is a final decision. And once this decision has been made, regardless of your vote at this table, you must move with the decision made. We will not have a Brexit. This is not going to be a FIFA exit. We will have a final confirmatory vote. And with that understood, as I'm sure it is by my honourable friends, I move to Arthur.
Do you want me to go first again, or do you think Richie should go?
So is yes getting
No,
FIFA?
we-
No, he's not getting FIFA.
It's got to go in that order.
I believe we have made the we understood and have made the decision that the final statements have been made. So I move to Arthur.
I don't think I can go back on my word, so no.
Thank you, Andy.
Wait, this is if we should get it.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Order. If we can
can't
please
breathe.
have some calm. If we can please have some calm at the table.
This is democracy in action.
This is. Thank you for that quip.
Wow.
Once our nerves have calmed and once we are back to the requisite levels of judgment at the table, this table of democracy, this chair of democracy, we move to Tony.
I'm going to... Just to let you know that my tie-break decision may be different from this decision.
I would like to ask the member of the table to not justify their answer and just to give their answer as a yes or no with no justifying statement as agreed in the articles previously voted upon. Thank you.
I'm going to say yes.
Order. Thank you very much. I now pass over to Jack for the fourth vote, whether this moves into a majority decision, which I remind all at the table is decisive and confirmatory and applies to all voting members at the table, or it moves to a tiebreaker decision made by the founding member, that is Tony McPro, with the understanding that his previous vote in favour of this article will not be, or does not have to remain the same, rather, to be pedantic, does not have to remain the same, and that answer can change. So Jack, please, without justification for your answer, a yes or no?
This feels like... I know you just said, but this feels like one of the hardest things I've ever had to vote for.
We appreciate
Sorry,
the
emotions are hard at the
difficulty. We appreciate the
Thank-
emotionality, and we
I'm happy that
sympathise
you understand. Thank you.
entirely with the position which you were put. But I ask you again, with no more justification for your answer, that you say yes or no to the article in which we vote.
You can guess why this is going to be it, and it's a no.
Yes.
No. There you go.
Okay, so we're at a tie-break position. Order.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't make the decision.